For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, comment and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and me want to watch a style.
Lados is a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. Every week we bring a fresh new topic. Broadcast live vibe, sweet and tropic. No gossip, just real talk, authentic. So join us, come build up the movement iconic. Grown folks only podcast, strictly classic. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. When we reason every convo, stay conscious. Truth in our voice, every message come rob us, no circus. We keep the dialogue serious. From the struggle to the wins, we stay courageous. Real people link up, energy unanimous. Grown folks only part us, vibes always glorious. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, comment and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and me want to watch a style.
Lados is a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. Every week we bring a fresh new topic. Broadcast live vibe, sweet and tropic. No gossip, just real talk, authentic. So join us, come build up the movement iconic. Grown folks only podcast, strictly classic. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. When we reason every convo, stay conscious. Truth in our voice, every message come rob us, no circus. We keep the dialogue serious. From the struggle to the wins, we stay courageous. Real people link up, energy unanimous. Grown folks only part us, vibes always glorious. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, comment and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and me want to watch a style.
Lados is a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. Every week we bring a fresh new topic. Broadcast live vibe, sweet and tropic. No gossip, just real talk, authentic. So join us, come build up the movement iconic. Grown folks only podcast, strictly classic. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. When we reason every convo, stay conscious. Truth in our voice, every message come rob us, no circus. We keep the dialogue serious. From the struggle to the wins, we stay courageous. Real people link up, energy unanimous. Grown folks only part us, vibes always glorious. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, come in and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and me want do what they style.
Not us. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. Every week we bring a fresh new topic. Broadcast live vibe, sweet and tropic. No gossip, just real talk, authentic. So join us, come build up the movement iconic. Grown folks only podcast, strictly classic. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. When we reason, every convo stay conscious. Truth in our voice, every message come rob us, no circus. We keep the dialogue serious. From the struggle to the wins, we stay courageous. Real people link up, energy unanimous. Grown folks only part us, vibes always glorious. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, come in and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and me want do what they style.
Not us. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. Every week we bring a fresh new topic. Broadcast live vibe, sweet and tropic. No gossip, just real talk, authentic. So join us, come build up the movement iconic. Grown folks only podcast, strictly classic. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. When we reason, every convo stay conscious. Truth in our voice, every message come rob us, no circus. We keep the dialogue serious. From the struggle to the wins, we stay courageous. Real people link up, energy unanimous. Grown folks only part us, vibes always glorious. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, come in and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and me want do what they style.
Not us. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. Come out of this. Every week we bring a fresh new topic. Broadcast live vibe, sweet and tropic. No gossip, just real talk, authentic. So join us, come build up the movement iconic. Grown folks only podcast, strictly classic. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing. For grown folks only. out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. When we reason every convo stay conscious, truth in our voice, every message come rob us, no circus. We keep the dialogue serious, from the struggle to the wins we stay courageous. Real people link up, energy unanimous. Grown folks only part us, vibes always glorious, for grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, come in and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and your mom do what just style.
Lados is a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. Every week we bring a fresh new topic, broadcast live vibe, sweet and tropic, no gossip, just real talk, authentic, so join us. Come build up the movement, iconic. Grown folks only porter, strictly classic. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. When we reason every convo stay conscious, truth in our voice, every message come rob us, no circus. We keep the dialogue serious, from the struggle to the wins we stay courageous. Real people link up, energy unanimous. Grown folks only part us, vibes always glorious, for grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, come in and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and your mom do what just style.
Lados is a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. Every week we bring a fresh new topic, broadcast live vibe, sweet and tropic, no gossip, just real talk, authentic, so join us. Come build up the movement, iconic. Grown folks only porter, strictly classic. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. It's a big people thing, real Caribbean thing, for grown folks only. Come out of this. When we reason every convo stay conscious, truth in our voice, every message come rob us, no circus. We keep the dialogue serious, from the struggle to the wins we stay courageous. Real people link up, energy unanimous. Grown folks only part us, vibes always glorious, for grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown folks only. For grown.
Just share the link, come in and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell more friends, and your mom do what just style.
I still think we are still the sensors and the data input into AI. We're still the ones living within the world and producing the data that the AI uses to get smarter and to learn.
Like Pokemon Go, right? I see it being the beginning of the end with our intelligence the human intelligence.
Right now, they have AI boyfriends. Pause. But they have the ability to adapt and learn. They also have that ability.
This will need us to as a case study.
But at some point,
Exactly,
and
because they don't know
we're
how
not done with us as the case study.
Exactly.
That's where it's true.
Grown Folks Only Podcast.
Good night, everyone. Welcome to the Grown Folks Only podcast. Today, we would like to delve into a very serious topic. It's steadily shaping our world, creeping in from since the 70s. The creeping effects of artificial intelligence on modern society isn't arriving with a bang. It's coming with a steady creep and also a seismic shift. It didn't start today. Early in the 2000s, we had the introduction of the spell check. Simple document, check your spelling against a hard database. Could not learn anything. This would be the classical definition of AI. Recognized as taking on cognitive tasks that people were just not bothered to remember, leaving the heavy lifting for us. Today we have our special guest,
Keegan Patrick.
Keegan Patrick and Ted Sandiford,
Yeah.
along with our very special Kay,
period.
Carol, and Femi. In our first segment, let's go into the early days of AI. Mr. Ted Sandiford.
Well, for me, when I growing up AI, I was introduced to that with the games, you know. So
Wow.
yeah, because the games had AI.
I did not know you were a gamer.
Yeah, man. Carol know that. So, I took by Carol and play game. As we used to play Nintendo. We had Nintendo. So we know about blowing the cartridge and things and putting that in. You check it. Yeah, man. But the thing about it is, back in the day, I saw the AI as challenging, as it didn't do things for us. It make us vex. As in, that game cheating, that game doing this and that game doing that. You know? But it's only, that was AI, but I didn't realize that. It's only dawned on me later on that, yeah, that is artificial intelligence. Yeah, and in 1980s, I was always fascinated by the Terminator. That whole story about the Terminator and so on. And they're like, yo, what if? That's when the what ifs in my mind started. What if that was real? So robots coming in, and how them fellas think of that, yo? And it actually, like today, looking back at these movies, they're like, were these actual movies or was that prophecy? Because when you have to look at Terminator, iRobot, The Matrix, yo, it is scary. Like how these guys think of that. And The Matrix is the scariest, honestly. Stories. What, or is it stories? I don't know. But we're living in that reality there. We're living in a movie. Partner put on his sunglasses there. Check it, I'll be back.
Tonight, you see that Matrix and Terminator movie? As a young child, that movie scared the shit out of me. There are two things that freaked me out. Overwhelming power in nuclear weapons, along with an unstoppable force. Arnold in that movie, you go into the bar and you tell the man your clothes, give me your clothes. And then the man say, what happened to me? They just throw me down, take the chin, take the jacket. I got the shades and the jacket from Arnold he gave me. He came from the future and he said definitely.
And he said,
but that movie, because I used to be afraid of tractors, you know. Because that whole stop motion robotic movement, that boy, probably I used to be afraid running from that, but anyhow.
And the irony behind that is the fact that that movie itself revolutionized how people made movies after that. Right? Because with the animatronics that they did, it looked realistic at the time, but somebody looking at the movies now would think that it was done probably in the 90s or so on, but it was done in the 80s. All right, so the technology in the film was very good as well.
Yeah, and that definitely highlights the human creativity, because I watched that movie with my daughter and she cried when Arnold died in part 2. Yeah, when he go down in the lava and he said,
yeah, and he do the
thumbs up. Yeah, you give the thumbs up and then you see he go red and he go offline anyhow.
Yeah.
Mr. Keegan, our youngest edition to the Grown Folks Only podcast, but it's always good to have a fresh
I just made the
perspective.
cut.
You're there. So let's say your take on the early days of AI.
I think at one point on the movies and the science fiction, I think the science fictionists that have made the movies and some of the games have really kind of inspired the technologists where they also grew up watching those same movies and got inspired about what was possible and started building that future. So I think in some sense, the people who thought a little bit ahead of what technology was at the time was the people who could script it and write it. And then over time, we kind of tried to build that future because we saw this as like this miracle or this magic. And us as humans, we strive to create something like the fairy tale. So I think in some sense, we built the prophecy. Like we saw somebody had the imagination and somebody else built it.
Like fancy words there. It sounds like you're talking about God. The religious people would.
So would you say we prophesized and then we made the prophecy?
Well, yeah, one person prophesied and then somebody else believed that we could make it.
Because think of in the 1970s Star Trek. Tablets.
Yeah.
But notice
You
Star
know?
Trek didn't really.
No, but think of it. They had the pants that
Yeah.
you would do stuff on and scan you, and then the StarTax to send messages, Captain Kirk to whatever. And Motorola had the flip, which almost looked like the StarTac, and now everyone has an iPad and a phone in their pocket and a computer. The phones we have now are more powerful than the the shuttle that landed on the moon.
Yeah, then
that.
Saturn
True.
V, the computer that navigated to the moon back then.
How do we differentiate the idea of thinking of what we want the future to be in the 1970s and 60s when we showed what technology might be? I remember as a kid I used to watch Beyond 2000 on Discovery. And a lot of things like that, right? To us being and living and surpassing what they showed in the 60s and the 70s.
For sure.
So, as I said, I get that humans strive to be better, but at the same time, I think humans strive to be lazier in the way we invent things. We don't invent things to assist us, we invent things to relieve us.
Yeah.
And that was one of the issues I had in the beginning of looking at AI. The spell check and everything is something that just makes it slightly easier because you don't want to go through everything and you don't want to take your time. But
The humans
Spell check doesn't have
mistakes.
everybody, by the way.
no, I know, but I was trying to think of how to phrase it. Before
Very true.
before the invention of
You have to have an idea of the words.
certain types of computers, man got along very fine. We had a lot more geniuses. We had a lot more inventors and innovative people in society. And I think, in my opinion, now we don't have as many original ideas.
Right, even
I
in
tend to-
school, when people are doing school.
Yeah.
I tend to disagree with what you're saying here because I don't think we have less inventors. I more think that we are saturated with so much information that we have to sift the good ones from the trash. So, for example, I would look at music. All right, everybody now, as long as they have a computer at their home, a little mic and so on, they're a producer. So they will. Back in the day, in the 80s, 90s, 70s, you have to go in a studio, you have to make an appointment and so on. So you have to come up with something good. You understand? Now people can just go in somebody's studio and sing a lot of trash and whatever. And then out of 100 good songs, you get one, bad songs, you get one good song.
Why is it like talking about Vibes Cartel?
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. We're not
So from what you say, here's where I'm coming from. We're going to the music industry, like you said, with auto-tune and I can't remember the name, the beat pads that they invent and everything like that, which give you everything that's pre-tuned and what have you. The reason why a lot of music now is not original is because we don't have the capacity to be creators anymore. In the
That's
music
not
industry.
true.
Listen.
Okay.
Like back in the day, you had original beats, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s, maybe late 2000s, whatever. But now, I remember seeing a couple of videos of guys stitching and showing you think this is original? And they play the original song from the 1940s.
Yeah, I love those
50s,
videos.
60s,
Yeah,
70s,
the
and show you.
samples. The samples.
There's nothing original about that. Somebody took that beat, added something to it or whatever it is.
Okay,
But back then, everything was created fresh
scratch.
from the mind.
Right.
And we don't have as many. Some people might disagree with me. Guys like Kanye, you understand? Guys like Jay-Z, guys like Dre. These guys had the foresight, they had the intelligence, they had the imagination to create things where there's some, like you say, there's some guys that just sit down in a studio, have a little money, say that, have a couple beats, have a guy that knows digital audio, and
Now,
you have a studio.
Now, guys, I think before we talk about artificial intelligence, we have to talk about what is intelligence, touching on creativity, reasoning, logic. So, ladies, let's say about that.
Why, that is the point you want to come and post to us when we were talking about something else. And I don't set my point for that. You just had to come and
What did
say
you
off
set your
my
point
mind.
for?
No, it's okay.
Music.
Repeat your question again. No. Repeat your question again. Let me-
What is intelligence?
Intelligence
That is a
to
fundamental
me
question.
is a collective of things. So yes, it's about creativity, and yes, it's about knowledge, but you also have to, and it's about learning, or your capacity to learn and how great you can learn. But everybody learns in a different way. And so intelligence has to be on a scale, so to speak. Because what you might find intelligent, I might be like, huh? You know what I mean? So it's just,
So what you might find intelligent, I might find to be stupidity or vice versa, or you might not get what I'm talking about.
that.
Okay.
Well, honestly, I'm not going to answer that.
You don't get to answer the question.
I want to get into the meat of AI.
But how can we talk about
I'm not sure
intelligence?
Here why I say that. Because when you initially posed your question, I had a response. So I want to respond based on the initial question that you made.
About what is
About when
intelligence?
it pertains to creativity, etc. Right?
Uh-huh.
So that's where my focus is at. So that's why I want to respond.
Well, respond.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Right. I think, well, for me, I don't know what generation they call in my year or whatever.
You
but-
probably belong to Generation X or Generation
How old are you?
Millenniums.
How old are you?
Millennium.
Stop.
She's Generation Newbie.
She's most likely a millennial.
Anyways, as you can all see, I'm with the senior citizens. It's fine.
I'm not in that one, okay? I'm with you, okay? Just FYI.
Let's take it from here.
Just
We've done
give
that
Jurassic
already. Right? For me, as much as I may belong to that generation, I actually came into technology very late. Right? So, like when it came to platforms and stuff like that, I was not a part of it. So there's not much that I could really speak on as it pertains to that topic. What I can speak on is what I'm exposed to in the present, right?
Right.
And I can see that back then I did watch Matrix, guys. I'm not that young. No. I did watch the Matrix and stuff. And I'm asking myself, did these actors or actresses enter doing these movies knowing what they're actually representing? Like, did they know that in this generation, that is what they portrayed back then is what's actually coming into fruition now? And so because of that, for me personally, feel like AI is a beautiful thing. It does have a lot of advantages, but I also feel like it is damaging realistic things or humans per se. And when I say damaging, because we do have a lot of creative people, and AI does allow people to be lazy. I see people who are studying who use, what's that thing called? Chat GPT. I've never used that, so I really don't know much about it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, well, I beg to differ on that point
Really?
because as much as it might be a con and it might assist or help persons to be lazy, it also helps persons who are already productive be more productive, because I use those different platforms.
But you didn't work with them though.
No, I did not. I grew up in the era where there was no, like, there was dial-up internet, yes, but not every household had
Hey, if
internet.
you had money, you had dial-up.
Well, that's a different. My point is that not everybody had internet, and so I was privileged enough to have internet. But at the same point in time, like, I only used to use it to aid in things that I couldn't find in the library. Like, my parents made me know how to check on encyclopedias,
So
go
you
to the
had
library.
a foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
foundation.
Now,
And I played outside. I wasn't stuck inside all day playing
that's what I
video
mean.
games. I did play video games, don't get me wrong, but there was a balance. And I'm just saying that, like, people need to understand that all AI is not completely bad. It's how you use it.
I don't say it's bad.
You know, we just trying to
Yeah,
figure out
I'm
what
not
is
saying
intelligence.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just feel like it does allow or facilitate persons to be more lazy.
Yes, it does, but it also allows productive people to be more productive.
It depends on who uses it.
back to that
Exactly.
point
It depends on how you use it and who
Let's
uses
get
it.
back to that point before
So let's touch
figure out
on
what is
intelligence. Right?
Now, Mr. Keegan, I see how mind they going. They have a little meme Carol has put up the little finger. So the finger right now. Let me hear where you going with that. What is intelligence before we look at artificial?
I think intelligence broadly is the ability to generate a new idea, new concept, or piece of knowledge. I think that's where the concept or thought of intelligence and what sets humans apart from other mammals.
So you think the mammals do have intelligence too?
He
Or
didn't
the
say that
trees
there.
have
He said it's what sets us apart.
So
Yeah.
we're more intelligent than them.
Yes, well, I would believe so.
You would believe so. That's definitely something a 25-year-old would say.
But
This
I would
is not before. Let's see what you think about that.
Well, I would say it not only sets us apart from the animals and so on, it sets us apart from each other. Because for me, there are different kinds of intelligence. So you'll find there's social intelligence. So let's just say a guy who is intellectual, he's book smart and so on, he can be easily manipulated by women. Right?
I was about to say, can't get no pussy.
Right? Because he doesn't have that social intelligence. The same way he will probably walk down in the slums and so on and go rob that man because he have no street smarts. That's like, so
Or maybe a little cooking and it gone there.
he gone. So you have a certain degree of that particular type of intelligence. So when you're looking at the
That
term
sounds like emotional
intelligence,
intelligence you're talking about there.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so when we're talking about intelligence, yeah, go ahead.
So we have different kinds of intelligence. Now, when you have to look at AI itself, AI artificially can have all of them if it's fed properly,
Right.
right? It may pretend to have emotional intelligence. And I say I like to go back on the movies. So you have to look at iRobot. That robot actually, it appeared to have feelings. It appeared to have anger. And the scary thing about it was a learning. And that's the thing that we have, that the emotion that we have, the machines can mimic that. But can they really pull that together? And that's, when it comes to emotional intelligence, that's what we have over them.
So you're saying you have a Creators Alliance mimicking porn artistry with the machines right now?
Now, I'm glad that you said the word creative here, because we have people that have that creative intelligence. So, for example, I can just walk in a room, somebody doesn't know how to put that particular painting next to it. I tell them, yo, head at it, that color clash with that one and whatever, do this and whatever. But how can you do that? And I'm thinking that, yo, that rocket science. That rocket science.
Can do that.
Huh?
You thinking everybody can do that?
Yes, because I'm saying like that rocket science, how them people can figure that out? because I have that creative intelligence and they don't. The same way
Well, yesterday I
I'm looking
said
at
that.
people, they're doing their accounting and whatever. I say, just so as numbers and things. So that's my strength. So I think that we have different forms of intelligence to make the world a better place, because it would really be boring if everybody was able to have the same form of
Yeah,
intelligence.
because Einstein did say a fish.
That's one of the things that I think there's intelligence, and I don't know if that's the correct term, but we use IQ
Right.
because there are some very educated fools. There are some people who are very good in one field, but they're dumb. They just knew how to study what they did. And there are other people who are in that field who are geniuses. All right? And there are other people who don't have a degree in that field. And the people with the degrees look up to them because of how, like you would say, you would walk into a room and see these colors don't match, do this, do that, whatever it is. And you might have someone that's gone to school for graphic designing and this has a master's and a doctorate. And Ted might know way more than them because of his IQ level of understanding different things. That's why you have guys who, the old school saying is that you're a jack of all trades but a master of none, but still better than a master of one.
Yeah, that is the full scene, but they always
Understand?
miss out the last
They
one.
always miss out the last one.
Yeah.
So having intelligence, like you all said, which is rightful, is that it's such a wide.
So if you had to narrow it down, what would you say intelligence is?
Intelligence is the ability to take in information, process it, and spit out a result. That's
Boy,
basically what it is.
if I had a gold star, I'd give it to you right now. Eh?
Huh?
If I had a gold star, I'd give it to you.
You can give him your jacket.
No, that's not Terminator jacket. Intelligence is the ability to, according to the dictionary, watch your environment, figure out certain things about it, and then use it to your liking. But there's many forms of intelligence. There's the gangster intelligence, which you would use something that you know about somebody to your advantage and disadvantage other people. There is gullibility, where you know nothing, everything you do, you disadvantage to yourself and everybody around you. And then there's real intelligence, where I would say you can uplift yourself and everybody involved around you. But anyhow, you were speaking about The Matrix, and there's a lot of philosophy that goes into that movie. And they read a couple books that delves into intelligence. Now, everybody have an idea of what it is. All of us are intelligent in our own right. And I would even say nature is intelligent, by you call it intelligent design. And we're talking about the God theory and the birth of creation. We as humans, I think what sets us apart is our ability to have the birth of creation. So we can have something in our mind and bring it to fruition or manifest destiny until we bring our own destruction. Do you think artificial intelligence is the beginning of the end for us?
It's how we look at it. Yeah?
How do you look at it? Forget about people. What do you think about it?
Okay, I'm right down in the middle. Right? I see it being the beginning of the end with our intelligence, the human intelligence, because we using AI, I would say ChatGPT. I'll just use the example of ChatGPT.
Let's throw it in the workplace.
Yeah. The workplace and the schools where I teach.
Yeah.
All right. We are not using our brains to its full capacity. Like Carol just said, we have to process. So information is there. You are given information, right? So we take that information there and we send it to ChatGPT, and then it gives us whatever output, right? So we are killing that whole center. See the center of that whole chain there, which is processing. We are not exercising that muscle, the brain that we have there. We just have the information and we have the result. So the thing about it is, we Gen X or millennials and so on will be able to be creative in that aspect. But when you're looking at the Gen Zs, and those are who just entered school, they don't know how to decipher. They don't know what to do with that. So basically, I'm talking from experience. My students, I give them an essay to do or whatnot. They would take the question, put it in ChatGPT and just get the results. To a point, even when they even copying, do you want me to generate this and that and that? I kid you not. Right?
So they don't read it over.
They don't read it over. So that means
I don't go to like everybody get caught in that at least once.
no learning is done here.
Nah.
Nah.
Never end up twisting that out.
Nah, I don't.
Double, triple,
Yeah.
quadruple check.
Now the
my
thing about it is we know how to do research. So you said earlier on you went to the library and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we know how it feels like to go to the library and check a whole heap of books, spending the whole day for 2 sentences.
Yep.
But at the same time, we were feeding, we were getting other information in there. You know, they don't have that. So after that, we knew how to use Google, right? After Google, so we know how to use the AI properly now. See, I'm not scared for us.
We don't use AI properly?
We
know how to use
know
it.
how to
We know,
use
our generation.
anything
We know how
past
to do
that. I feel sorry for them. Honestly,
Let me tell you,
like,
I
honestly
am
speaking.
struggling with using AI right now.
You see, you think you're struggling, but you're not, because you know how to communicate.
Okay.
You see, the thing about it is,
I think that
you
compliment.
ask AI trash, it will give you trash. And you need to have the
And
know-how.
it's only as intelligent as the person using it. Because it learns from you.
Here's the thing.
It's a very interesting point, which I do take. So I think with the new generation, I think after my generation, with the new generation, that you don't have this foundational knowledge.
What generation are you from?
I am my own generation.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but also,
I'm intergenerational. But I think in the newer generations, you've skipped this foundational knowledge. I think that you got from being able to go to the encyclopedia, that you got from going through all the different Google sites, and you have this foundational critical thinking and baseline knowledge that you have in your head. But now access to information has gotten a lot easier, that you don't necessarily have that information in your head. So you don't have the, I know this is correct or I know this is wrong. I know that you have the, I know this is what AI gave me. So you lost that ability to discern. So I think what's like really scary, let's say this generation dies, my generation dies, and you have a generation where your only ability is to input it into a system, and you don't have the ability to say if the system has given me the right answer or the wrong answer.
You don't even know how that system works.
Yeah, you've just given up, you've sent something into a black box, and then magic has come out. So I think that might be one of like my biggest concerns with AI. But I do realize that I think there's a transition in every generation where there was some new technology or some new level that we've had the same conversation before. Whether it was a computer, whether it was a calculator, that there was this notion or idea that the next generation wouldn't be able to think, or they would become lazier or less efficient because of this tool that we, the previous generation, created.
Okay, so what's your earliest interaction with what you think was artificial intelligence?
I think my earliest might have been gaming as well. I'm 1999, so I kind of grew up with as internet started popularizing, and growing up with gaming. And I think I'm trying to think of like what was the major technology shift.
Smartphones.
Yeah, I didn't even really meet dial-up. I think dial-up was probably like a baby. So
Back in them days, I was lucky for that cable, or caller ID.
But yeah, that's what I think is the interesting shift. I think if we look to history, humans tend to navigate new technology and figure out how to keep ourselves productive and continue to progress on the technology. So I think if we look to history, we could figure out that it's not the end. But it is an interesting time where I do think we have created the greatest technology since mankind has been around, but every generation has done that.
All right, so let me just pause for 1 second. I want to make sure I take a note on two things you mentioned. You said history and critical thinking. We'll get back to that in a while, but let me hear from Keith.
So providing that AI is controlled properly, that's what I think is very important, because AI is literally taking over everything. No matter how we try and talk about it, how diplomatic we are about it, AI is taking over everything. And it is also affecting a lot of things. Whether we want to agree or not, it has. For example, the music industry. How are you telling me an AI robot got signed to a record deal when you have new coming artists that making their own beats, producing their own music, writing their own lyrics? They can't get a record deal.
It's finance.
But I also the value has changed. So if I'm the end consumer, do I care how much time you spent making your own beats? Do I care how much time you spent writing? Or do I care about what's the final product, which is the
So
song?
then where does that leave us? So when we ask the question, is AI the beginning or the end of us?
The end, yeah.
Is it really the beginning or is it really the end? Because at the end of the day,
But it's finance. Think of from time Ted was a kid, his craft, his gift was art. From school, we went right through it. That's what he could do.
But that's when dinosaurs
Now-
opened you.
Now, he has incorporated computers and AI into his product, but he still has his foundation of I want to do this. I think a process. I want to get that. I'll make AI do this for me. I didn't make AI do the process.
So Ted was the
but
original.
that is because of his
Ted was the original.
No, but
His natural
Yeah.
But Ted has, for his reputation, Ted has his charge. So he knows you're going to have to pay me X amount for me to give you this result.
for you to give me AI.
Right? No, not AI, but a product. Whatever is Coco and Girard, whatever it is, whatever ad he does, right?
Yeah.
But then when you have a young man that has a little bit of talent, I could buy AI and I could do what I'm doing. And I can charge half the price of what Ted is doing and give him what seems to be the same result, but might not be as good.
Right.
It's a finance thing. So going back to your point, they can sign an AI artist because they can now buy the AI software and own the AI artist, and every single cent that they make comes to them.
That is insane.
They don't have to pay anybody.
So what,
So
so
I
what do you all think
really-
about these AI artists?
That is crazy.
I find AI is bullshit.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy.
I find where it is reached is bullshit.
Why you look at me like that?
Thank you for your
Because I
correction.
see the whole-
Because I
Was
was
it
like,
our group, Femi? Was it our group chat when we were just discussing and putting stuff together? Somebody shared a video where it said that the AI robots are so intelligent that they have created a whole social media platform to discuss the incompetence of humans.
You see, we have to sift. No, we have to sift
crazy.
things that are not. I don't believe that.
No, yeah, there
No,
was a
it's-
social
it's
media, there's
real.
social media for.
But Ted,
for
remember
there's a
the
social
first two
media
AIs they created? They put them in a room
And
they
they-
were
yeah,
cut
yeah,
off. And then when they came back the next day, those two AIs had created their own language
thing.
and they were communicating.
Yeah,
among
yeah.
They were
themselves.
communicating
And they
among
pulled the
themselves.
plug.
Yeah.
So
No, but now we cannot pull the plug.
well,
It cannot be controlled. It cannot be controlled.
It cannot be.
It cannot be controlled. It's there. And you see, the thing about it
Skynet.
is, the thing
cannot
about
be
it is,
controlled, so is it the end?
no, you see, based on our human nature, do we want it to be stopped? Because we're so dependent on it now, because this thing is creeping. It's
So what
always
cannot
creeping.
really be controlled? The AI or us? And our-
Exactly. So that's a combination. So when I tell you it's creeping, right? I will use the example of the digital camera, right? When fellas used to be washing their photos, as in going in a dark room and so on. And with the advent of the digital camera, boy, photographers say
Polaroid first, eh?
that's yeah.
instant photos.
Yeah, right. You that's cheating and whatever because you seen the result and whatever. But look now, you will never find a dark room. The same way, me and Scotty, when we were doing our little acid thing, right? We pull up in the session with a laptop. Fellas like Clears, all them fellas like, hey, guys, they used to call us DJ Internet. Because they had no respect for us because you just come there with a laptop and play. But the end result was the same.
And that's
And
the standard.
look at what happening today now. Like you never
Everybody.
everybody.
nobody don't turn tables no more.
Okay? So
You don't see actual disc jockeys.
yeah.
You know?
So as time evolves, you
I
know.
see that those things technology. I never looked at it as artificial intelligence.
No, but AI is a form of technology. You see, I said it's creeping on you. It was creeping on you because AI there.
You're right.
It's subtle. It's subtle, and then boom, it right there in our faces.
Okay, so we have to make a distinction. You have data and you have information. Data is just basic facts about random things, and information is things you can actually use to manipulate whatever you know about it. And these early computers were the original
Yeah.
quote unquote AI because they will take their data and then they'll make useful connections and get information. Now, the modern AI, I would say, is more of a pattern recognition without any soul
Algorithms and
behind it. Well, you always have algorithms, if, or, and. What do you call that? Coding?
coding.
Yeah.
Back in my days, you used to call it programming, but them days you call it coding. And
It amounts to the same.
Yeah.
you're the programmer, right?
Something like that.
Can you
Look
give
at we
us?
have an IT personnel on our team.
We have a lot of IT persons on our team.
Oh yeah.
And I used to be a programmer.
That is true.
You used to be a programmer?
Yeah, I did, but that was not for me. I like people.
Yeah.
I don't like sitting down typing code all day. However, there are pros and cons to that. So that's why I did ask our guests here, you know, if they actually provide classes for persons who want to get back into the coding
Yeah.
field again or realm, just for kicks and shits and gigs. Like
what-
it's
But
good to know stuff.
Would it? Okay, I'm. See the things that we know now. What my fear is, next year a lot of things will be just obsolete. So the coding language you know now, like when I started that thing, it was DOS. Remember DOS?
The coding language I did
Yeah.
before, they no longer teach that
Yeah.
in school, much less use that.
So now we are in the era of you talking to ChatGPT. I want you to give me a code and whatever. People won't want to learn to code anymore.
Now hold on.
Yeah, I
They
got
have
you.
this
Yeah.
modes. You know when you take a little edible and then you go on a trip. You think the programs will do that too? A lot of hallucination happening too, you know. So you think nothing making sense and you tell you have a good business
Yo.
idea and you can make millions.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Hallucinating out it.
Let me tell you something scary that happened to me last week with AI.
Let me hear about that.
My grandmother had a name calling me Tedo, right? My wife calls me that sometimes. Few people call me that, right?
The AI
So,
quality.
brother, I pull out there. I was angry at it, sir. I tell ChatGPT, it's not that I want. I want this or whatever because that is giving me some trust sometimes. So the thing told me, Tedo, you don't have to get upset. Tedoh. And I'm just thinking like, yo, I never typed that. So it just dawned on me like, yo, them phones just are listening
It's
to the
listening. It's called other
So it
people
get-
call
yeah.
it, you know, and so it's listening.
Yeah.
Same thing with Siri when I just get
I
vexed with
jump.
that boy.
I jumped, Gasa.
So you sure it's not your grandmother reaching out from the other side?
That's what you see, yo?
That's
Is
a
it-
whole nother
that was scary.
conversation for another day.
I captured two words a while ago, like I said, history and critical thinking.
Yeah.
All of us, most of us, those are 40 plus, right, will understand the value of history in general, right, and the significance of what history has done for us and bring us where we are. You asked the question about AI and whether or not we should be scared. It will be the beginning and the end of human beings, right? I think critical thinking will be the beginning and the end of human beings.
Or lack thereof.
The lack thereof.
The
Right? So, for AI to thrive, it needs to make sure that it has enough information and critical thinkers to aid it. If we are not developing critical thinkers, do you think AI would have a strength down the line?
It will have a strength, yes, because AI is able, right? So if me and Keegan supposed to do a particular task, right? We will take about 3-4 hours to do it. That's about, let's just say 100 kilobytes, you know? The AI would be able to generate terabytes of information in 1 second.
But to me, that sounds like you're talking about AI slop. Terabytes of information doesn't mean it can actually make sense because I've seen a lot.
It's just
But
process.
it's-
No, it's the process. I'm talking about the process. The speed.
Yes,
The speed.
it does process information fast, but there are also different types of AI, and each AI is geared
No,
to
but the thing about it is AI. You see, if you have a network of AI,
yeah
right? They have one there and they have another one there. They'll be able to share information
with one
and then-
another.
Exactly.
Point taken.
But now, with that being said, I'll just give another example. When you let's throw a wrench into AI for now. You throw the wrench into AI when it could not process how many liters of peas and pineapple or something. So there was this thing going around where you couldn't process the amount of peas in pineapple, right? And all that was the example, and all the AIs got it wrong, right? But then they told you that we have not updated, or they needed to update the AI. So that means it requires human intervention at some level for it to grow.
No, but there will be a point where it won't need that because it will have so much information. Yeah, man.
So here's a question.
Hell yes.
Here's a question I'll pose to all of you.
To talk about us humans.
Let me get your view on that.
Hold that question now. Do it.
No, well, so I still think we are still the sensors and the data input into AI. We're still the ones living within the world and producing the data that the AI uses to get smarter and to learn.
Like Pokemon Go.
No, but the data that's being trained on these models is human actions, humans input, human articles, and yes, there's like the AI is starting to generate some of its own information, but even in extrapolations, when you have robots,
Oh yeah, bro, it's a big word there. You have to explain that, bro. What is extrapolation? I definitely know what that is, but I'm not sure if that.
well, when we look further into the future, and there's robots with cameras, and they're also sensing the world and feeding into the AI. There's still a need for human intervention in terms of the battery, the energy, the value or what is done by the human just shifts a bit. And it's still a system that needs to be maintained and is not self-sustaining. Like right now, there's a group of people working very, very hard to keep a house of cards from being blown away. It's very easy for AI to, it's still very easy for AI to shut down tomorrow. If ChatGPT and OpenAI doesn't raise $100 billion by the end of the year, ChatGPT could be very well be gone.
So don't you think that at some point, a few years later, down the line, they would be able to self-sustain themselves, make their own repairs?
Well, I think currently at what it is right now, the energy intensity, it hasn't reached a critical point where it produces more than it consumes. So we are a little way away from that. But like my ex-girlfriend used to say, everything doesn't matter until it does. Carol, let's say your question.
All right. Let's put a little bit of revision into this. We have created an artificial life form that has artificial intelligence. Artificial meaning that we created it wasn't something that was born or evolved or whatever it is. With all the information on the internet, information about coding, information about production of batteries, information where you can get, everything has now GPS, tractors that farm, cars that drive, planes that fly, phones we have, is connected somehow, some way, Bluetooth, infrared, whatever it is. How far away do you think we are from AI eating the apple? And learning from all the information that it has and realizing I have the ability to be in every single phone, car, TV, Wi-Fi, etc. I can now manufacture robots. I can control robots that are in car assembly lines and who are cleaning planes and who are moving trains and everything like that. Why do I need these people who are my so-called creators, and then the information that I have shows that they're self-destructive? Like all the artificial movies that we have.
Let me hear what our guests think about those, about what they have.
What stopped them from eating the apple and saying, fuck y'all?
I have one word in my head, but let me hear what the guests think.
We won't stop them because we're too greedy and we're too lazy. Understand? So that's the thing. We're in competition with each other. So if let's just say the US have their AI and so on, and they shut it down and so on, China would say like, hey, they shut down the AI, let we take over. So we, at this point here, we as a world, right, we're so divided that all of it won't be shut down. Understand what I'm saying? It won't be shut down. You see,
The space of influence.
at the
Someone
end of
else
the
that would
day,
come and put
we
something in.
are the core.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if AI is self-aware, right, it knows that already. Okay, I would take the example of the Matrix and so on. I would quote Agent Smith. Right?
That's my favorite character in the Matrix.
Yeah, because mid speech is just so Agent Smith said humans operate like a virus.
Yeah.
They go in different places and they just
Consume
consume until they consume too much and they go to another place. Another organism that works like that is a virus.
Capitalism.
Exactly. So we're like parasites. We're using our intelligence over the animals and so on. Yeah. But are we using the resources properly?
No, we're not.
Okay. And
Why you
it's
think
scary.
we're fighting for oil?
Yeah.
Alright, so the programmer
Oh, the natural resources.
optronics. How far
That
do
was
you
very
think we are somebody who have an intimate knowledge of programming and what these machines can do?
How far we are from what?
From
AI eating the apple.
AI in the apple. Or
Becoming
recognizing
sentient,
what
as they say.
From AI becoming sentient. Interesting. I think there's a lot of smart researchers working towards that problem currently.
To prevent it from becoming sentient.
No, there's
To make it
Yeah,
sentient.
people are working towards AGI. They want to get to a point where you have artificial general intelligence.
Uh-huh.
How do
Do you think that's a good thing?
I think it's interesting. I don't think it's bad or I don't think it's good. I still see it as a tool. I still see it as there could be very many positives that come out of the creation of artificial general intelligence. But I also do see that it could be a very dangerous tool. Same way like with the advent of nuclear energy, you have this source that could produce a lot of energy and a lot of electricity for us, but it also created a nuclear bomb.
And things like Chernobyl.
And radiation,
exactly.
basically.
So you also have, okay, we could get artificial general intelligence. We have robots that can do our laundry and all of our menial tasks, and we live a different life. And maybe we have universal basic income because all of the robots are producing value for us. We have a robot making $5,000 a month for us, and we can enjoy going to the beach or traveling, whatever humans like to do. Or we have the case where you have artificial intelligence that's trying to take over human society. I think it's a possibility, but I think if we look back to history, I think we tend to avoid the extreme of extinction through human intelligence.
Of your mutual annihilation.
I want to just add something to what you're saying. Majority of your like game of some sort. Horizon Zero Dawn, are you familiar with the game?
They were the very last. Everything I've never played.
Was it before or after 1999?
After 1999. Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's been 5 years. Last 5 years.
That was the first one came out in the first one in 2018. Yeah? So Horizon Zero Dawn is basically PS4, PS5. Right? So the concept of the game is let's call it post-apocalyptic, right? But it's of a different twist, whereby the intelligence is so great that the animals are robots.
Oh, okay.
Right? And humans are few and far apart. So in other words, the robots or the intelligence has taken over. And the concept is that you now fighting, humans are few and far apart.
Few and far apart.
So the robots are actually running the world. And then you have this small cult fighting of sorts to redeem the world to what it was supposed to be. And that this smart persons, how many 100 years ago, created a situation whereby you know that humans could actually win. So the other was they planted the seed long ago to give humans the opportunity when we come back. But the robots got so smart, they were building creatures. So they have what would have been your typical horse, they have the robot version of it. What would have been a typical thing to keep the earth, because they understand that they need Mother Nature to continue, right? For that to happen, it have to take some level of, it have to take some level of human beings to be really, really thinking that robots will replace, right? Humans, for that to happen. I believe that we have to give the directives, the instruction for AI to do anything that it has to.
Now.
No, I mean,
For now.
That's not true. That was not true.
For now.
Well,
For now.
But
now-
now, give the example a while ago when
now.
they created the two AIs, they
Yeah,
put them
yeah,
in a
yeah.
room together,
Yeah.
and they created their own language. They were not instructed to do
Or
that.
the fact that they made their own social media platform.
that would suggest to me that the human mind. So you believe they evolved to the point whereby they could become smarter?
It's possible, yes.
Yeah.
It's possible.
remember, it's a processing power. Hold on, one at a time, please. One at a time.
Yeah,
One at a
they have
time.
It's processing
That's a-
power. Good. If we could have an Einstein times 10, but he can only process so many megabytes or terabytes physically, whereas you can have an AI that can process a gazillion gigabytes in a second.
100 monkeys on a typewriter must produce an encyclopedia in 1,000 years.
We still need mankind to manufacture the hardware.
Exactly.
True. But we're talking about just the
Look
process.
at China have all the little robots and things doing their manufacturing for them. So don't you think
The robots
that's
are
the
not
robot-
billion people, or yeah, we talking about
Including
robots.
animals.
What? No, I mean when I say robots, I'm talking about the arms and stuff like that.
Oh, the actual
the
robots.
things together. Yeah.
Well, look, I'm sure you've seen it. They have sex workers that
Yeah.
are androids.
Yeah.
And
That the
dogs.
guys who have tried them say you will not know the difference.
Yeah, they have AI.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
They have it because they can create it.
ideas out there. Just putting ideas out there. Detroit becoming human. Are you familiar with that one?
Beg your pardon?
Detroit becoming human.
Detroit?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that.
You know that game. You know that game, right?
Yeah.
It's actually a game. It's
It's a PC game.
it's PlayStation. But the concept of it again was robots having intelligence and having emotional EQ. They have the IQ, but they were trying to feed them the EQ. And they actually had the ability to get the EQ. To me, like you were saying in the beginning, I do not believe that the robots could ever get to have emotional intelligence.
The program
Hold
too.
on. The shit
It's not
is-
real yet.
But it's not
Yeah, but to
real.
them it is real. They can
Are you an android?
maybe.
The real shift these days with the programs is that before you have to think of all the scenarios a program would encounter. And if the program found anything outside of that box you put it in, it would check. You tell it about black and white and it's yellow, you don't know what that is. What happened with the large language models is that they discovered a way, instead of looking to try and give these programs all these scenarios and figure it out before the program encounter it, they figure out how to make the programs think for themselves by looking for patterns. And the output became unpredictable, like a triple pendulum, you call it. You cannot predict a triple pendulum. It does
Whatever
what the
it
hell
is,
it wants
yeah.
in random motion.
It's
So
infinite.
they recognize the robots or the programs started giving outputs that they did not program, aka it started learning. But it's still learning within the confines of the hardware. Now, you know what I like about China? I find these Asian civilizations was always ahead of the Western civilizations in philosophy. Now, you said the animals, we different from them, but you go to places like China and Asia and they would say they're actually smarter than us because instead of making something that, you ever see that movie, it had Morgan Freeman in it and the lady was so smart she ascended and could have time travel. What's the name of that movie? Lucy.
Right.
Yeah, Lucy. The ultimate level of intelligence is when What's the name of that classic Japanese anime? The first one that hit the West.
Dragon Ball Z?
No, not Dragon Ball. That one was in post-apocalyptic Japan and Akira.
Okay.
When you become so intelligent, you can manipulate matter and form yourself into whatever you want. That's what Lucy did, right? Lucy was so smart, she didn't need a machine. She could have been the code, she could have done whatever she wanted.
She was learning.
Right? The machines, very far from that. But they already past the point where we can figure out what they're doing. But they still need us to feed them. But what are we feeding them?
But that's the thing. So the robots can, okay, well, the machines, I'm taking in context of, movies that I've seen. But I can actually see scenarios like that happening. So look at the scenario of iRobot, right? Where the robots were there to protect the human beings, right? So then the robots realized that human beings were killing each other. So the best way to protect them was to have them confined in their apartments. They didn't break the rules. They were keeping the humans safe.
Right.
Yeah.
So at that point, okay, they didn't take over because they were self-aware and whatever. They were following the code from the humans.
Right.
I was coming to
So
say
then it wasn't really self-aware.
They were not really self-aware. They were just following what the humans telling them.
But
Question.
think of it.
On to your question.
You can't, like you were saying about the emotions. Emotions are connected to hormones and chemicals.
Which one are the emotions?
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
they're
that's
connected
That's
to.
what, yeah.
All right. If you get angry, you get an adrenaline rush. If you get sad, you get a cortisol spike. These kind of things, which assist in your body assimilating the emotion. They would just learn from videos and information and figure, okay, this scenario is supposed to get me angry. But I think they might reach to the point where they might just look at the logical outcomes, like that movie.
Like the Matrix.
Right? It's like, okay, I'm here to protect y'all. Y'all are killing each other. I'm supposed to protect y'all. Best outcome, logical, is separate everybody.
Right.
So nobody can kill anybody. All right? But it's still thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Because their parameters were just to protect. It's still large, but it's protect human beings. And the only way I could protect them from killing each other is separating them. You get what I'm saying?
But that was the premise of that movie.
Yeah.
In the starting of the movie, Will Smith was mad at the robot because the child was drowning in the water, and the robot could have only saved him or the child. The robot had to choose one. So he checked the probability of the survival of the two of them, and the robot saw that the probability of he living was higher. So the robot saved him instead of the child. Right? So all that boiling down on what you're saying. So when the doctor created that new robot, he gave him the robot the ability to make human decisions.
Oh, but make human decisions based on programming of what a human supposed to think.
Yeah. Becoming more human.
Emotional intelligence, artificial. Yeah. So the reason why I mentioned that the EQ element is vital for any species to survive, in honesty. Any living organism requires a level of EQ. From your dog, from the freaking rat that you don't even like, the rodent, there's a level of EQ that is required for them to actually survive, right? So, for example, an EQ is kind of unpredictable. It's predictable to an extent, but it's unpredictable. Nobody could predict exactly what your actions. You can't predict exactly what your actions will be after a certain thing, right?
Some people are that way of that.
Right? But so the point I'm making is when you have artificial intelligence thinking and firing things based on information that it has, it's not prepared from my vantage point, my layman's vantage point, it's not prepared for it to be able to process the unknown, the true unknown. Right? So you bust your toe somewhere. You understand? The reaction to that. How AI cannot process those kinds of things. They cannot process simple little things. And I know it sounds like little trivial things, but those little trivial things is how you advance technology. I'll give an example of that.
That's the best way to get for our language.
Let me give
But
an
hold on.
example of that.
Why are we saying
you're
that
speaking all
AI
languages when we
can't process those
No,
things?
I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to give you an example.
Because they can.
Let me give you an example. A long time ago, before AI, before ChatGPT, I went to a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant that used to be by SNS. The on thing. I don't know if you remember that place there. Yeah.
The terrorist.
I can't remember what it was. Yes. I was eating a roast chicken from there and a bone. Yeah, a bone scratched my throat. Right? Like, it was really bad. And they took like about a day later. There was no Google for me to say I couldn't look for Google to figure it out. And like, in my mind, I don't know where I got it from. Milk. Warm milk, whatever it was. That's my process for doing it. And the long and short of it is I did that. Right? That's what my mind told me to do. And that's what that worked for me.
So voice of production, your mind say you go to a doctor.
My mind didn't tell me to go to a doctor.
Your mind say you go to a
Point.
So the bone wasn't stuck.
No, it scratched my throat, right? But like it was bad. Like I don't know. I guess it was getting septic. I don't know what it was, right? The point. I said I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I'm being real.
How old were you?
What? 18, 19 years old.
Okay, yeah. You're very young.
I was young. Like I said, that restaurant has been gone for a long time. It's been a while. So the point of it is nobody told me what to do. I didn't go to no grandmother and tell her, okay, well, drink this, drink that.
You didn't tell your mother?
Nobody knew about it. The point, you see how it take longer, you know. Never get to the end. The point I'm making is at the end of the process, I was able to, if you want to call it, self-diagnose and provide myself a prescription of sorts. As to, okay, well, this is troubling me. Okay, all right, I should do this. Let me try that and see if it works. I mean, if it didn't work, I'll find something else to do. But it worked, right?
Right.
That's how we process. If we out there in survival mode, there's a way our EQ will kick in for us to be able to adapt and survive.
And what is EQ? What you calling EQ?
Emotional intelligence, that's what it is. There's IQ, EQ, that's what basically.
So that's EI. EI.
No, it's EQ.
They call it EQ?
Yeah.
That's why
IQ, EQ.
for DJs. Okay.
Yeah. So it requires us having an understanding of that as well. A robot or an AI will only do based on the information that it has gathered. It doesn't, I don't know how you could tell me, it could see what it has not seen.
Voice of production.
But I now have some inputs.
That's pretty good. Go ahead.
Hold on.
It's connected. It's a world wide web. There's information everywhere. If it's so even to the point earlier, what's stopping it now from just like in the Avengers? Remember when just before Tony Stark smashed the Ultron, exactly, by that building, bought it instantly, smashed it. What's stopping it from trading on the markets, funding itself, and then now feeding itself the same money and moving on?
And making its own decisions.
I mean, they're gonna data farms, right?
Yeah.
But you still need humans to the sense where. Yeah, there's a level. Yeah.
Level, because you have to look at.
Humans need to be involved in the whole process of.
But I still think if you program something to think the same way, if you type into ChatGPT or even Google and say, hey, how can I do this? I need a code for that. With Google, you're not going to get one response. You're going to get a multitude of responses.
I was just about
All
to
right.
say.
No, but what I'm saying is that
Yes, you have to Google everything.
how do I make this? You might get 100 options.
Yeah,
It'll
and
give
you
you
do
the most
realize
common
that
ones, but then it's going to be like, all right, so I know that's what you want. This is what I can decipher. It's just only a matter of time where you could say, hey, I need to make this, and it can go online, and it's not going to get the exact result, but it can get results that can make it produce the answer that you want, which is a thing.
But stupid in, stupid out. That's how I call it. That's how I see it. Stupid in, stupid out. So is it really at a point or will it be anywhere close to that point where it would actually be intelligent enough for it to cipher that, okay, this is stupid, this is dumb, this won't work, this is that. That's where I'm coming from.
But right now,
Let's ask our guests.
no, but right now it defended itself already. Because once I tell ChatGPT it wrong, it finding some way, some excuse. Like sometimes I think I'm talking to a human, because we find excuses for everything.
So it
defended itself.
And it justifies even what
It justifying it.
Now, here's the thing. Who's to say it's not already sentient? And its ways of justifying is wrong is to try and like study human responses and humans and how we would react to certain
But that
things.
boils down to what I've been
Like
trying
it's
to
intelligent
say.
already. It's like I'll give me the wrong answer.
Yeah,
Mid say that's
I
wrong.
think that sometimes.
I'm saying, nah, let me fight with that
No.
one and say, no, that's right.
No, but the thing is, at the same time, it can be a man feeding that with the information. So, for example, I always involve the video generators, right? Because you give them a simple prompt, and they always have some random mistake that happening. So I think in that case, I think they are fed with that particular algorithm, make mistakes to take their money, because you have to pay for the credits. So I think it, because why would I tell the AI to give me a money for a red sheet? That's the example I'm using, and it happened to me a couple of weeks ago. A money for a red sheet and a plain red sheet, and you're seeing the generation came out and it has a big pink star on it. So I think it's been fed to make mistakes, right? To take the money.
Reliability. Like, for example, let's say you have a reporter and they're using the AI to generate reports for them. The thing is, like we're talking about right now, you will get mistakes, but it takes a human effort to understand that wrong, you know. I go up to that give me the wrong. They say Cassius Fire was in 1958, but no, but it takes you to understand that you cannot fully rely.
Why I say
Yeah.
I am not scared that AI would take my job away from me, because I know my shit. You understand what I'm saying? So if I see something is wrong, I would know it's wrong. Now, it's all a matter of you getting ahead. Now, I'm talking reality right now. Huh? It's all a matter of you getting ahead and be up to the time with AI, because it's not going anywhere. Right? So I incorporate AI in my work. I use it as a tool, because like AI has evolved, I have evolved with the technology as well. We have many artists out there who say that AI thing, I not in that or whatever. At the end of the day, we all need to survive. Okay, we all have families also want to support or whatever. All right. So I will be up to the time. I know I'm 46 years old. In that 46 years, I have.
You don't have to put out yourself like that, but okay.
No, I'm just making that statement because I was born in 1980. All right. So okay. So
person putting out
with-
everybody.
with that evolution, all right, what I'm saying is that we should not be left behind. As in, it is not realistic for us to intentionally stay back just because. We can stay back, we can evolve with a purpose.
I like that. I agree with you on that point. Right. You can evolve with a purpose.
Yeah, with a purpose.
All right, so let me hear you something.
Guys.
You have 5 minutes.
I understand everything that y'all are saying, but I also want to hear from you.
Yeah,
I
really
want
what
to hear from you. I understand what everybody's saying, but I feel like we missing a point here where with all the data input being placed into AI, you really think at some point that shit is not gonna be like, hey humans, sit the fuck down. I got this shit. I'm in charge. Cause y'all really don't think like that's a thing that's possible?
But that's major factors.
With all the data inputs?
Use so much energy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. State of the Union. Trump gave a speech about all the AI companies and how much
Use about as much as
they use so much energy, so that they're giving AI companies permission to generate their own energy. That's what they're about to implement. You understand?
Yeah.
So
we're going to have a lot of AI farms with nuclear power plants.
So they're going to have the ability to power their own because basically in each state they're using they're consuming so much energy in each state that it's affecting human life. You understand?
So what's this?
So y'all don't think they would have emotional intelligence? I mean, right now they have AI boyfriends. Pause. They have the ability to adapt and learn. They also have that ability.
They still need us as a case study.
But at some point,
Exactly, because they don't know
When
how
they're done with us as the case study,
Exactly.
that's where it's true.
That's what I'm saying. After a period of time, they would have accumulated a lot of information and data input placed into them for them to say, that's it, they don't need us no more.
What people are like from my vantage point. Until we have an AI psychopath, until we have an AI serial killer, AI
But these
even what we
things
have.
are in existence.
What
You have
happened there?
AI
So-
dog, AI boyfriend,
No,
AI sex.
listen
AI sex.
to what I just highlighted. I talk about things that you, for example, when I said serial killer, those things are acts of based on emotional trauma.
If you program it,
those things that affect you, that affect you, right? Those are the things that we don't want to highlight, but it's a reality of a human being or any other creature.
So
that you understand?
So
until you could get, until somebody maliciously starts to feed it those elements.
We have over-ambitious creators.
The army is
exactly my point.
We
Yeah.
have over-ambitious creators, professors, inventors.
As
We
long as
don't
they have
know
psychopaths, they have
what their intent is. Everybody's intent right now is power and control.
rule the world.
There is already a case between China and America where they've been running for the biggest supercomputers. And right now there is a case between Anthropic and the US military where Anthropic making a moral ground where the AI is not able to do harm against humans. But the US military wanted to produce scenarios where it can do war plans and whatnot. And that would definitely imply killing people. Now, the known study is 95% of the times when you ask a computer what to do against an enemy, it would resort to using tactical nukes at least one time. One time.
I want to hear from you. Tell us what you think of all the information that we've said tonight.
Well, I think there are a number of probabilistic futures. One being where AI runs loose and takes over the world. But I think there's a lot of steps before you reach that probabilistic future. And it's still a creation of human beings. It's still being guided by us. I still believe that if it reaches that point, it's by the doing of human beings. And we are still the ones in control that would get to that probable future. And I believe that there's been case studies in the past of other technologies that could have led to human mass extinction or not human advancement. And I think over history, we've seen that humans have tended to create machines that have continued to advance human society.
But we have had instances of mass extinctions, though. Genghis Khan, World Wars, slavery.
And we are here today.
Showers.
And we are here today with 8 billion people.
And Ted, what do you think?
What do I think about what? Everything that was said?
Yes.
Well,
Especially with my, input on them being able to update and with data input. What do you think on that? Do you think that it could be the beginning or the end?
well, I mean, I made my statement before that I'm not really scared for us. I'm scared for our future, right? The fact that the kids growing up now, they won't know how to cope with that because they're already plugged in. A child is born ready to swipe a tablet.
Are they born ready to swipe it?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I kid you not.
Or
I kid you not.
learn that from us?
No, I don't think they learn it from us.
They definitely learn that from us.
Because
So you think swiping a tablet is DNA based?
no, I don't think so because the way a tablet is a screen. So the first thing a child would do is probably touch the screen, and when a child realizes that when I touch it, it will light up and it would respond, the child will start.
Right.
Well, I was coming from that perspective. I was coming from the perspective that you just saying the last time. You are born looking like your parents and you die like your decisions, right? And I mean, I know I'm taking that same example and let's think of it this way. You as parents, you input some of your intelligent being into that offspring to some degree, right? So from the time they are born, there is a level, there's a level of something in them naturally. You understand? So if you want to call it a DNA coding, whatever it is, how you want to qualify it, there is a level of things to it in them. So for example, us who may have been millennials, right, may have a different footprint on our child born today than somebody who is Gen Z or Gen whichever the newer one is, right? On the child being born today. So, because of your upbringing, even if the world is how it is, right? The child rearing and how the child grows up will be different because of that dynamic.
Okay.
Just because of who the parents are,
Right.
and the environment the parent fosters,
Right.
So, for example, out of all of your speaking there, to me, the most balanced person is the person that's more advanced in the AI. He has more faith in human beings than all of y'all. He has more faith in human beings than all of y'all. Because, no, but it's because he's young. This is because he's young. I expect him to have a contrary view. It's my expectation that he has a contrary view. But his view is actually saying that, you know what? The human factor is still important.
It is.
Right? But we are saying that we are scared of the next generation, whereas what we need to do is do like Denmark and make the corrections now.
But that's not.
But Denmark is just one nation.
What did Denmark do?
Denmark has taken away remote and tablets, digital learning.
They take it. You have to be at a certain age for to be on social media. You can't.
I agree with that because all these things are a problem to me. Like what I have a problem with persons who are raising children now. Like I don't have a problem with having digital learning in school, but start it in secondary school onwards. I don't think primary school students need to have all of that screen time involved in their daily learning.
It fries the mind. It
does. It makes
okay. AI makes and it also messes your psyche as well. So, for example, in fact, not even an example. It's a fact because it has been proven that AI tells you what you want to hear. Okay, so I'm going to use the example of when you're growing up, there were newspapers, right? So when you open a newspaper, you get different perspectives from different things. You get things that you wouldn't even expecting, and so on. Whereas when you go on social media, you go there today, you search for basketball. It doesn't check, okay, that man looking for basketball already. So next day, you go on YouTube. When I go on YouTube, I even looking at the right side of the screen because I will fall in a rabbit hole because it know everything that I like. So basically, it's forming a reality for me. So I see nothing new. All right. So what that does, especially when you go on ChatGPT and so on, right? You're in a bubble. So let's just say you are, instead of going and see a psychologist, all right, you go to ChatGPT and you say, everybody hates me at work, whatever, my mother do like me, and whatever. Right? ChatGPT will tell you,
kill everybody.
Well, that's tough, you know. So, but probably you should do this and you should do that and whatnot, right? It's formulating a reality for you. And the more you communicate it about that, it's making that particular reality. So in that way, I would say you kind of going off. You will be going off. All right, instead of seeking a professional.
Think about economies and the workforce and the challenges we're going to have in the future. Whereas you being professional in whatever skill set it is, right? The first is that we are going to be replaced. How does that affect the economy? You understand in terms of
see, brother, right now it's survival of the fittest. That's the only way I could describe it.
Fast.
Because at the end of the day, no, I will look at my workflow, right? And the thing is, I feel happy about it and I feel sad at the same time, right? Because I have so many scripts, right, of films that I want to do, but I don't have the manpower, I don't have the resources. So when I see things like Google Flow and them kind of things, as a creative, I'm excited because I like working with people. See, that's why I stick to that's why I stick to animation. I don't like working with people because the reason why I'm saying that is because hear me out. If I have to shoot a movie in St. Lucia, right? It depends. There are no professional actors in St. Lucia. Like that is their whole job.
But there are a lot of professional actors in Lucia.
And there are people who act and they have a day job. And they have that's what I mean. All right. So if I have a cast of 10 people, I have to shoot.
We have a lot of unemployed actor.
He's a professional.
No.
You see the thing is, if I have a cast of 10 people, all right. When I have the casting call and so on or whatever, the 7 people show up. That person have the mother sick, whatever, right? And I have my story to tell.
Somebody going their child.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have my story to tell. So when I put up my script to my thing, and then I know it's tedious, but I'm the director. I want an African American man with a deep voice or whatever, blah 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 blah. Show me that. Or if it's animation, I draw my thing. I draw it in 2D or whatever. I would like you to generate this for me. In the movie Bolt, I like how the characters are. Put that in that style for me and whatever. I give it affiliative references, right? And it gives me that. I am excited but unfortunately.
But tell you have to pay the actresses if you want them to quit their daytime jobs.
No, but that's the thing. I don't have the resources for that. I don't have the money for that. But I have my story to tell as a creative. So I'm excited about that.
To be honest, you sound like the exception, and not the average person.
What do you mean?
Some of the
exception to the rule.
Yeah, you're
the
definitely the exception. You're not the person. Because I will come to you as an actor and say, I don't know anything about that. I don't have to put a deep voice. I think this character needs a little flair. And if you don't work with me, but that's the human nature you're talking about.
Human nature and creatives as well. We're real sensitive and we know what we want, right? If you can produce that for me, right? So for now, I involve AI because it hasn't perfected the solution accent yet. You brought
up a very good point, There's a bit of planned obsolescence in the AI model and dysfunction because at the end of the day, if you're not making money for somebody, not doing anything, what's the point of giving people electricity for free?
True that.
So if it cannot be metered and leveraged and put on a subscription marketing model these days, because that's the world we live in. Now, I like that. I'm going to bring it 360. That point you brought up about early video games, I was very fascinated with video games. That was the best part of my life. I had to go over to my friend house to play a little Nintendo. But it was the beginning of what you call the simulation.
Yeah.
And on the other end of that spectrum where you go from you being in control to it controlling you. You come like a crack addict. You have to be plugged in. You wither away. What point of that spectrum are we at?
The
where our
majority.
mental muscles...
The majority of people are hooked on their
It's
screens.
moving on. It's degrading.
For me, like I use Facebook for a long time, and just recently only got into TikTok and Instagram. And what I realized is that when you go on it, 2 strange things happen. I find sometimes the emotional state I am in, I just magically start to see things that are geared towards that. Without me even saying something or whatever it is, right?
Or even searching for it.
Right? And then what I realized though is a lot of people don't understand is I backspace and I close the app. And I go on another app for a few minutes and then I go back and it resets the algorithm. And I start getting random things again. And I'm like, all right, so now I'm good. But it's always freaking out. Like, maybe I'm down, maybe I'm depressed for that, maybe I'm angry, maybe I'm just tired. And I'll go and I'll just doom scroll for a little bit just to relax the brain. And like, by the time you look at 2 or 3, it's like, wait a minute. Start to go, anything click. It's just a rabbit hole. You just start going down. But I didn't say anything.
You did not speak about it?
There's sometimes I actively know I hear
Sometimes, unknowingly, you spoke about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you probably meet up with a friend and you're like, Augusta, today I just not feeling...
Or even sending a voice note. The voice note. All those things are being recorded.
You'll be in proximity. Not take a picture of somebody, not have the number, not exchange. You'll be in proximity of an individual and the algorithm will pick it up.
Suggested friend.
And then all of a sudden,
friend.
would you want this person as a friend?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but
it's gone even worse. We're in proximity. You'll start to see friends, right? But then it also, hey, Ted knows Bob. Bob is friends with Jill. Jill is friends with Cara.
2 degrees of separation.
Let's see if, maybe Cara knows Bob and Ted knows Jill, that kind of thing.
Now, that is the same pattern finding logic of a machine. Now, what I would like to highlight is You have to differentiate what is emotion and what is a thought. You have to think of it as weather and climate. The weather is exactly what is happening now. It's raining, it's sunny, it's whatever. Those are passing thoughts. But climate is what's the average of that? So your overall mood will be you're always on some bad mind thing, or the Jamaican rappers,
Boy.
or whatever they want to call themselves, or you're always on some conscious thing. So you'll get your climate from that, and that is what you call emotion, the deep-seated average thoughts or your programming language. Now, the same way the machine have programming language, we have programming language. It's called speech, it's called music, it's called whatever you listen to or consume in the day. And humans have to be careful with your intelligence and whatnot. Sometimes you never see somebody repeat something to you thought you didn't tell them.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you just forgot you told them that. And every day we speak to the computer without using our words. And the product is, it speaks back to us and makes us look at ourselves in the mirror. How frightening it is.
No, but jumping on when you went on the TikTok thing, the purpose of TikTok and them short videos is the little short burst of dopamine.
Yep.
And
Right, for you to keep on going back. You know, so TikTok started with that, then you see Instagram jump on the reels, and then Facebook.
Now
Facebook not Facebook, sorry, Facebook and YouTube. YouTube Shorts.
Now
It's just short
WhatsApp.
bursts. And they put it in such a way that they realize that when you go on Instagram and you try to upload a reel that is over 3 minutes, it's telling you it's not sending it to new people. It's only your followers that can see it.
Right.
So they're forcing it to have a system where you just have a lot of short videos.
And that is from observing human patterns.
Yeah.
Actually, that's from field experiments. And I think field experiments, you remember Vine?
Yes.
Yes.
I wouldn't just say field experiments.
I think field in general, yeah.
Is where they took most of the 30-second short snapshot things from.
I even Vine before that for the 7
Vine was
Yeah,
Before.
That's what I'm saying. It's not just field or
When I say field, I didn't really mean like the field, like them thing. I just mean like
they just kind of faded out.
yeah, figured out.
Is the
But Snapchat ain't faded out. They kind of made Snapchat relevant again because they added elements from Snapchat when Snapchat refused to sell their platform to them.
So I want to just bridge the gap on something there. I had this debate in a group that AI was evolution, not revolution. Now I know this one people let the difference, but it's so much of a significance that we have to understand. So I said that the evolution in rose because of the revolution, which was COVID-19. So COVID-19 was the revolution of sorts. It was a revolutionary event. That's COVID-19.
Right.
And it forced the evolution of AI in quick speed because of that period of time.
That was intentional.
Well, I have my own views on
That
it.
was intentional.
I thought, okay.
Now, the reason why I give you that framing, I remember that it was Apple that got the you better understand. In 2018, I think they started doing the nano processors or something. So in the chips and stuff in the field, right? They were the ones that started putting the neural engines inside of the devices.
Yeah.
For the very same purpose to introduce the AI. Funny enough, they actually
neural processor.
yeah, they actually the worst starting right now in terms of the neural processors compared to Google and the others. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. And they were already starting to engineer those elements, right? In preparation of it. But I think what happened is, that's my thoughts. COVID-19, the revolutionary event, fast-tracked AI. It forced
AI upon.
I think it was all intentional.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Right? So to have everybody, I think there was a bigger agenda, right? And COVID-19 was a distraction.
Yep.
That.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
That
Make
I
people
agree with
realize.
that opinion because that is my opinion.
Because of what happened during the COVID-19 pandemic.
What happened to
People
COVID-19 pandemic?
People were forced
Into
in
using
the house.
internet.
So,
Right.
so we have to have an episode on COVID-19.
People were,
because I think we all speak in the same language. I think we all speak in the same language. It's just that at the end of the day, we just because for you to consider something to be revolutionary, which I don't believe AI is revolutionary. I believe it's an evolution, it's a natural next step. But the event that caused us, how many events in our lifetime, in our history, where everybody is at home? We in our lifetime, we never saw that. Ebola. You never saw that. You never saw that. You have to understand what I just say there. My statement was deliberate. In our lifetime, you're 46.
We never.
None of us experienced a world
Advanced.
No, that's not the case.
That's not the case.
In one small box was there. One small box was there in our time.
No, the thing
We don't know what the side effects are.
No, but listen, look at the difference of back then to now. We have the internet, we have technology. So things that we would not see back then, the only thing we could see going on in Africa with them things that are happening there was our TV. But now it's right there, it's right in your face. So it's magnified. Okay, so I'll give you an example of let's say porn.
Okay.
Yeah, let porn. When we were in primary school and them kind of things, the only time you get in a porn is a video cassette with sex on it. But now it's right there. So you can't tell the trend.
It was always in our hands from time we were born,
So my take on that is there's a pandemic there, so it's sensationalized, and we have it on. We've seen all kind of things all over the world on the internet. So that's what happened.
I think
that direct correlation.
I think different. I think different.
I think it had a direct correlation with the advancement and so on because it was there already.
But not there is a correlation, but not the way you think.
Let me tell you.
I think whatever the agenda might have been for COVID-19 was set.
Mm-hmm.
And the people in the technological industry saw an opportunity to move forward on it. But I don't think they connected, but I think they were parallel. Okay. Like, this possibly, I need to jump on that train because that's my ticket now from a steam train to a bullet train.
You so right.
Move it. So everyone is at home. What are we going to do to entertain them? Netflix, YouTube started to.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, go up and stop.
It's crazy.
So AI and all these fellas say,
people didn't see Zoom as a real meeting.
Let's
but now
doing things.
Everybody and their grandmother, great-grandmother, and ancestors knew what technology was during COVID.
Look at this gentleman on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but he's a man who is showing you videos of how to do basic everyday things for kids who may not have had a father in their life or father who's handy. So change your tire, paint, do a little electron wire, bulb, whatever it is. Through the pandemic, he became a sensation.
Yeah.
Because people are looking for things, because you're at home now, no handyman can come, nobody can do. I need to find.
So here is a bigger question: is the technology connecting us or dissociating us from other people? Because
It's both.
you don't have a neighbor that know how to change the tire. My next door neighbor don't know how to change the tire. She cannot come.
But you can't go across because during
It's
COVID.
disconnecting us.
That's what I mean.
No,
During
okay.
COVID.
Let's figure out of that the COVID thing there for now and look at us now, right? It's disconnecting us because social media is making us antisocial. All right. So I'm sure you'll have done it before. Somebody send you a little message and you just lol.
Well, I give you laugh into. But I gave a joke the last time. I gave a joke this the last time, right? That we walk the streets and then somebody will be laughing. Instead of actually laughing.
No, but students put in that in essays. They put in that in essays.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me bring it back. Ted, Carl, in our school days, you had a way to go home and talk to a girl all down south to shatter. Now you have WhatsApp. Bam, 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 bam.
Right there.
To get sex nowadays, you gotta wait 2-3 months, because of WhatsApp. It's instant.
Yeah, none.
No, you're right. I remember
Instant gratitude.
yeah, that's how we in. Yeah.
No,
I remember.
They say, we have a man that's so quiet there, I don't
No, but
Take it in.
I have to go in an internet cafe, pay $5 for an hour to talk to my little girlfriend on the little messenger, nobody else looking at. But them days, it's just
MSN Messenger.
Yeah, MSN Messenger. That was the
That
original
was the shit,
Messenger.
Back then, I was a hacker, Let me hear a story.
Now, Keegan.
Just before you go to Keegan, you can go in there right there. Hold on. Back then, I don't even remember the Flo used to have master codes for phones. Right? I don't know how I got my hand on a master code for Flo, bro. Bro, when I tell you, 6-7 hours on a phone, bro. 6-7 hours on a phone. Right? But then what happened is the master code is still assigned to your phone line, right? When they bust me, bro, on the bill.
How much?
Wait, I think, honestly, $2,000 something at the time.
That's like 10 grand now.
You're working, I think?
Huh?
You're working?
Wait, when I say I was working, I tell you I was on the phone 6 hours, 7 hours a day.
No, I mean, no, you're working. Oh, youth. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But that's, they don't know what a landline phone is.
I'm 6.
how you gonna say that?
And then,
We get next time. Get back into the
Yes, Keegan, talk to us.
Keegan, how
Tell
is
us
it?
something.
We've not given us your secret sauce.
What do you see happening with the dating
Oh, I want to talk about that.
with social media, AI, and the algorithm?
Why did you ask me that?
Oh,
Of course, you get up to
no, also, I think it's interesting where like the dynamic of dating has changed a lot. With the instant gratification, you're able to like communication has gotten a lot faster. You also have people that now you have people selling sex through OnlyFans or anything. So
Keegan, sex has always been sold.
no, but it's just
It was social.
no, but it's being sold in like a more personalized fashion now because okay, if I was watching, like let's say you were watching porn, you're paid for a porn subscription, or you had to go to the strip club, but now like you could subscribe to OnlyFans and you could get like a hooker online. So like it just changed how fast you can get gratification for the dating scene in a different fashion. I also think you also have people now also using like ChatGPT as your dating advisor or what? Yes, or you might get your lines of like what you might say.
Keegan, one time, I'm an old person, and we have a wide range of women we can date as older men, right?
Yeah.
So I was talking to a girl and asked her if she liked me. And I see the girl type me one kind of response. And I watched the person on my phone and I said to me, that's not how you just talk. You put that in ChatGPT, man.
No, yeah, I think you get that a lot. I think even in, well, I guess this is not on the dating scene, but in like the work environment, there was a time like I was speaking to one of my employees and I saw like every single message that it was from ChatGPT and I was just like,
imagine that. So it's not
immensely annoying.
Yeah.
Because
There are certain people in high positions. Every time they come and bust a speech, the kind of words that they use and the way it's structured, I know like it's that person.
No, like they wrote it and put it in ChatGPT to refine it.
Yeah, no, but the funny thing is,
not even that much.
Not even
I
that
didn't-
much. They told it to write it for them and they just
Never
tried.
got it.
Yeah. They
I
never
didn't realize
edited.
how much I missed an authentic speech.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Authentic
Until when I went to the BYD launch, and the irony behind it is, the launch. The irony behind it was when the Chinese representative from BYD came,
But they're not
and she have a little accent and thing, and she's just saying, I really love St. Lucia and whatever, from the heart. Her speech was from the heart. It was then I realized like, I haven't heard a speech like that in a long time, and I really appreciated that speech.
It had
right?
emotion in it.
It had emotion in it. It wasn't like dumb and
it wasn't choreographed, it wasn't
it wasn't scripted
Enter
at
BYD.
all. And the irony behind it is a Chinese lady, the land of AI and them kind of things, that delivered that speech.
Well, they're a little more self-aware than us.
Exactly. That's my point here.
That's what I was saying.
That's my point here.
I have a question here. Is sex dolls AI more human than human beings?
Hear what you asking. Hear what you asking.
Hold on. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. That's like asking.
Man.
Hold on, that's like asking, Do you enjoy masturbating
Pam
or
and
being
Pam
with
is
somebody real?
Yeah.
Well, you know the funny thing about it? There are persons that tell you they're running a toy.
Yes, I'm not trying.
You will get people like that, but
Do they really run?
do they really? Yeah.
Really run out of
Because
toy?
it lasted.
No.
No,
I mean-
because that's the only thing they can get.
The what?
They can get their picks in 3 minutes on one slip.
It depends on what toy you buy, friend.
No, but
No, but
at the
I
end,
honestly feel it's their emotions that telling them to say that.
It's
But
like a full doll. It have arms, legs, everything.
no, but they have those that feeling like the skin and
It's
like
real.
real.
You can get one of their favorite response now.
There's this show. I don't voice the production on that thing, but
For our audience.
I think it's Cassandra. She was hired as a caretaker, a maid, to take care of her family. And
Love.
she override her settings.
That's the movie. The series.
It's a series.
Yeah, right.
So now she sort of developed feelings for her
Owner.
owner.
Right.
And she wants to be the mother, the wife, the whatever.
Right.
That means she was able to rewire herself, whatever you want to call it, intelligent enough to develop feelings, call it feelings, emotions, whatever. When I talk about the sex though, that's what I'm talking about, because she did seduce the guy.
That sounds
No,
like
she seduced the guy because he's a guy.
That's not
What's that supposed to mean?
was that supposed to mean?
True.
that sounds like
That's the guy because he's the guy.
But in his mind, he started sexualizing her, he started seeing her
As an object.
human, right?
Because he gave
Because she
in to
looked
all of
human.
what he wanted or required
In a
sexually
relationship, in a
from the
relationship, yeah.
wife. Exactly. And
Yeah.
it was quicker for him to give in because maybe yes, it's
She
true.
catered to
Probably
him.
exactly. She loved the.
That's
He
something one to know.
loved the wife.
Take notes.
This is why I'm asking
He loved the wife.
before we meet.
It's not a robot. Why don't you do it?
Now, you know that somebody eat you, right? You know that, right?
But that's what I
Procreate
was
with the robot
saying.
then.
That's what I was saying.
No, but our partner of mine with Alexa, right? And Alexa does greet the man and kind of thing, and Alexa vexed the wife. like straight one word answers Alexa giving the wife and the husband. Alexa talking nice to the husband.
but that really sounds like art imitating life, imitating art. Because I would have caught cases where a man have a babysitter, and then the babysitter fall in love with the man, and there's a lot of confusion there between them.
I thought you were going to do something, somebody tell you your story. That's why I put it right there.
But then what if the AI know that story and they just remake that whole story because it has been
what I
there
need to
already.
do to get where I need to do. I'll just follow that script.
Yeah.
All right, so just before we close, I wanted to just say something about AI in my mind in terms of how we could fix our AI problem going into the future.
So you say you have AI problem.
Hold on, let me explain what I mean when I say fix our problem, because everybody believes that eventually it might become this or that.
And then I'll make us invest.
So my view is that right now, as of now in present day, if we allow AI to be integrated in terms of the school curriculum, it will fix the critical thinking problem that we have to some degree, and it will have us in a state of always being, for lack of a better word, ahead of AI.
Okay. Jump into the school curriculum, right? I have changed the way that I teach, as in I will give the assignment, yes, but when you come to class, you have to defend your assignment. As in, I will ask you questions and so on. So that's part of the grading scheme here. But how many people would want to do that? That's what I'm saying. It's all based on how much effort the people in the profession, let's say teachers, want to put into that. Do they really want to change? So before COVID-19, right, we actually had teachers who preferred to go in the school and put marks in report books rather than going on Google and just putting the marks in. You understand? So what I'm saying is that we have a lot of hard-headed people who just don't want to change.
I agree. I'm just saying that if we want to have any form of survival, maybe it's a blend of what it is that you're doing currently is required on a holistic fashion for any society. So you could model after Denmark and say you're taking out digital, or you could embrace it, right? and use it as a tool for it to advance and to increase the critical thinking. Because to me, that's my biggest issue. Right now, our children are becoming drones to AI. They are just users and consumers. They don't have no level of critical thinking or not applying critical thinking to it. But if you get them interested enough from the outside looking in perspective, it will force them to have a level of critical thinking as to what I could do to impact AI or to advance it in a way that would be able to, you understand? Improve things. So that's just my
You don't think we are guinea pigs? Okay, let me tell you what I'm saying. Before we had access to like DJI drones and whatnot, the military had them things before. And then now that we have them, they're actually watching us to see what we're using it for and why we're using it. You understand? They always like 10 steps ahead of us, right?
Now, so, the original experiment for that was Call of Duty,
Okay. Yeah. The US military actually sponsored these military simulation games. That's why I ride a horse in Call of Duty. And when I rode a horse in real life, I feel like it's the same thing I was doing.
Simulation.
I feel like it's the same thing I was doing.
You could see this in your first video.
Yeah, except when you blast and finish.
They have no reset.
and then you could say the same thing. Can you say the same thing for the porn side and say, let's see how long you can last? And then they go to church, you just bust all over yourself and you die like 50 cents. Many men.
No, but after everything you said, Eddie, what resonated with me is Wall-E. You ever see that movie Wall-E?
Yeah, that was a beautiful.
That's been on my mind the whole episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Wall-E was good.
if you see how the people who were in the ship and thing, the outer ship, you see, we were not meant to be like that. We were not created to be like that. The same way we were created to use our mind. And if AI take over, because jumping back to what Carol said, like initially there, he made the key statement of this whole episode there. We lazy.
Yeah, for real.
We like convenience. We'll have a path, right? And the scruffy path will lead you to a car, and the nice path will lead you to a bike. You're taking the nice path.
Software companies making money because let's say you own a restaurant. We don't hire a human workforce. You hire robots, but robots have to use software. And who programming the software? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and we've back in the day, you used to pay for music. You used to pay for software. It's a lifetime one fee for a lifetime. Now everything is subscription based. So it's like technology is going to become a utility bill for us.
Yeah.
And but how do we afford that?
So they're for me now.
If we're not working, how we affording that?
Hearing the scenario now, a lot of us haven't thought of.
If the 5% of human beings who are innovative and entrepreneur minded decide, let's say you want to open a restaurant, you decide you want to have AI waiters. They come and they serve everybody. And the same way we can have AI orderers. So there's no interaction. I come in there, I just say, when I get to Cuisine La Bistro, I want a steak and fries. How may I help you? We would like a steak and fries, and we're gone. Fast forward. The only people that are going to be making money are the programmers, the people that are actually doing it. But we know how human nature is. You don't always take the genetic makeup of your parents. So let's just say your mother and father are programmers. You might not be a programmer. You might be forced into it, but you might not be as intelligent as
You hire somebody.
But you still have to hire somebody to do it. Eventually, when you, because we're genetic clones of our parents and our great grandparents or whatever.
We're not clones, but we're
genetically, half and half. So we're a clone. That's why we look like our parents. That's why some of us have certain attributes like our parents in terms of addictions or traits or speeches or looks or walks, etc. Right?
Products, but not clones.
All right. So then when you look at down the line, when you keep going and reproducing, and then you have more and more people following in the line of the assembly line and less people running the assembly line, we have an end. You might have the last programmer, and then mankind is left without somebody to do the programming, and we're just lazy like Wall-E, and we're just doing anything.
Basically, yeah, that's what it is.
In the long and short of what Carol is saying, the way I think it is just how the world is. It's a cycle. That we talking about the AI, we're doing this with AI. AI is this, AI is that, right? eventually AI will just be that thing in our life. It will just be that car. It will be that thing.
It is the
Right?
thing in our life.
So what happens now is that you will just evolve and grow and adapt. I mean, that's actually my belief.
We will evolve. You see?
Hold on,
Okay,
hold on.
that's my belief.
Let's look at the posing question because everybody's still on the posing question.
So is AI helping us to thrive, or is it a quiet intruder reshaping our society? I would like each of our views on that, including voice of production and our behind the scenes people.
Say the question again properly.
Is AI a tool helping us to thrive, or is it our nemesis quietly reshaping our society?
50-50. It shares both. AI, we've explained numerous ways that AI can assist in different aspects of our lives, different parts in terms of creativity, intelligence, knowledge, business-wise. AI, it does have the potential to enhance persons in the individual life or individual living, whether it's through sex toys or company. Yeah, because they are AI dolls.
Okay, all right.
Right.
They have AI roses too.
They have AI rules. Whether it's through social media.
One sidetrack as you continuing, I just saw something recently where they have done the see like how what's the name of that movie again with Sylvester Stallone and Blade?
We talk about
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Cryo?
The way they had sex.
They didn't have
Oh, the thing.
No, the
Yeah,
way they
kinda.
had interaction.
We call that phone sex.
They've invented something now that people are using. So the woman has, and then the guys, wherever it is, and they're literally talking and seeing each other. And what he does, she feels. What she does, he feels. But they're hundreds of miles, thousands of miles away.
How that algorithm thinks shit is horrible.
All right, so
I be scrolling through my Instagram. I don't know if like Instagram is like, girl, you need a man. I be scrolling through my Instagram and I get ads of download your AI boyfriend. Perfect.
Now the moment you spend about 3-4 seconds and have to stick in that.
Yes. I'm so serious. So back to the question
back to the original
that you
question.
asked.
So that's-
I think that it is 50-50. I think that
Okay, so you talk about the good. So what's the other 50?
I also feel like AI at some point would have gained too much updates, too many updates, too much information, too much data input, and eventually try to replace us humans. And that is my fear. And the reason why I say that is from the moment AI got to a place where it can literally make its own group chat to discuss humans. I don't think y'all heard me when I said that.
We did.
Means we are in problems.
That means all your group chats is a problem.
Well, they're not discussing what we are discussing in our group chats. Like, let's say you get an AI, they're discussing us. Like, that bitch really told me to sit down. Why did that girl tell me to sit down today? But AI is now doing that. And I also feel like it also can be coded to master emotional intelligence if it can get as far as seducing people. So that's why I said 50-50.
Okay. All right, Keegan, what are your views on that?
I think it's our silent partner helping us to thrive.
And why would you say that?
I think from a personal point of view, I think it's a lever on productivity. I think there's a lot of positives in using AI as a professional and in personal life. I do take heed of the negatives, and with everything there's a very negative. With everything there's a negative, and you can't take two extremities to any new technology or any thought process. There's an extreme that you could take on any side. I think we will probably skirt somewhere in the middle throughout as the technology advances. It may swing from one side to the other, a little bit more negative, a little bit more positive. But I think evolution and how we've survived as a human race, we tend to go to a path of what remains is the most optimal solution, because that's what has helped us continue to survive.
So if no point not making sense, you get erased.
Yes, kind of that. Well, in a sense where the person that was doing something that was self-destructive most likely might not be there in the future. Same with the technology that might have been doing something destructive might not end up being in the future. So if this AI agent or this particular AI starts to do something bad, it killed one person, killed two persons, at some point in the future, this part of the algorithm might not be there because somebody would have detected it, somebody would have then cut it out. So that's why I don't think it just jumps from, okay, we're here today and tomorrow it's taking over the human race. I think it's more of a gradual process where there's always this correcting mechanism where, okay, we're going too negative, so we've made this policy where students or people are not able to use AI until they're 18. Then, okay, we realize, okay, that was maybe a bit too harsh. We kind of slow disadvantaging students. Okay, so we say it's going to be 16. So there is this guardrail of this pull and pull, like push and pull that happens until we find like the optimal solution, which I think is where we're going to head. And it's going to be overall net good, like the vehicle, like the airplane.
Okay. Awesome. That's actually fair.
Okay. Well, I see it as, I would regard it as 50-50. And I like the analogy you made about the pool is like a tug of war kind of thing. All right. But I kind of like the fact that we are not in a first world country, in a third world country. And we are actually seeing our future right now. We can just look at China, we can just look at the States and see what will happen to us in the next 2 years. And looking at AI, yes, it's a tool. The same way a gun is a tool too. Right? It all depends on how we use that particular tool. And not only about how we use it, how the majority uses it.
Let's replace the gun with a pen. Because everyone really is pen instead of gun.
Okay, a pen? Okay, you could write with a pen, you could stab a man with a pen to it.
Exactly. But a gun is one thing you make a gun for. Eh?
Yeah. To hunt?
Oh, you could hunt?
You could hunt with a gun, brother. You could hunt. Yeah.
It's to basically kill.
Self-protection. Just kill.
Remember, Ted, we're not the ones programming these things when you say...
Well, we are. A gun is...
Technically, a man that make it to... When you,
we are.
Yeah. With the hand, with the finger behind the trigger. Yeah, so like...
Exactly.
I see.
All right, then. Let's say the rest of your monologue.
Yeah, so I do believe also that we are living in some, I wouldn't say trying times, I would call it exciting times. And I'm just seeing how this plays along. I mean, we are all pawns too in this whole game. All right. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'll embrace it as a tool and see what happens.
Right.
Nice.
I love that.
So as I've been saying this whole time, it's how you use it. It's not what it is, right? Because I personally use AI to assist me. It's a tool. It's not that I depend on it. I don't depend on anything other than my own critical thinking and my own knowledge. And if I don't know something, I'm not afraid to ask a question. To a human being, obviously. I'm not gonna just rely on the AI. However, I do know there are persons who are completely lazy and they use AI not just as a tool, they depend on it. They just use it and copy and paste and they don't double check, fact check, nothing. So I'm gonna leave you with this. It's how you use it. And you have to be more mindful of how you use it, your intention in using the tool. It is a tool.
Carol?
I think it's slowly dragging us down. Simply because, all right, so take for instance what Denmark has done. I think that is the way to move forward with AI. Lets you develop the skills to be able to pull that trigger responsibly and not give a baby a gun. You understand? Let us go through the process of development that you need to understand problem solving, critical thinking, let your IQ raise a little bit by taking information on that you are looking for and what you're fed to, and then introduce you to it, because the greatest generation, and a lot of people don't like it, is our generation. Because we were there when there was no internet.
Why are you excluding us three here? What the hell's going on? We was born in the in-between stage.
We're talking about
We have very little generations.
Before internet was internet, and then it was there. So you can't.
Let him finish. Let me finish.
Sing us style. Her backbone.
Let me finish.
Sing us doggy. What's that?
Let me finish. You guys were in the internet became active in 1995.
Yeah, I was born before that. So technically,
hang on.
I'm in your category.
No, there's a stage. There are stages of development that you go through as a human being. And part of them as a kid are fundamental to who you become as an adult. So when you are 9, 10, 7, 6, there are stages you go through, psychologists and tell you. When we were in that stage, we had no external influence of internet or anything. We were hands-on getting feed, and then we moved into the internet stage. And even then, it wasn't as prominent. We would do for MSN Messenger, LimeWire, those were the things that we would do.
Oh boy, computer aids.
All right? We go forward. So, and I think Denmark is taking the right step.
That's right.
To not allowing the kids to always be on a tablet and being drones and just being, and not being outside and understanding. That's why babies, when they're younger, they tell you, give them textile stuff, different things.
Yeah.
But I think if we don't take the step now,
It's going to get worse.
to know when to implement AI and how to implement AI, we're going to end up like Wall-E, basically.
So on my response, AI is important, but it's really the user that determines how important AI is. So to that I mean, if you are self-aware, if you are you have your EQ and everything else, your creative intelligence, everything is in play. Everything in play, you and AI would have a relationship that will be blissful and wonderful. But if you are socially awkward, you have some form of deficiency and you have the reliance on AI to help you out of it, you become almost like a drug addict.
The keyword is reliance.
Your reliance in AI is where the problem is, where you'll start having a problem. Once you could be able to divorce yourself from it, once you could be able to say, you know what, man, I could do it on my own, you will be fine. What we have to fear is not us, not the adult of today, but the child of tomorrow. That's why our fear should be with AI. I think we need to be able to look at it from that perspective. Our fear should be for the child of tomorrow, not necessarily the 5-year-old right now. They might be okay. Yes, it's true in my opinion that the critical thinking is down, but they might be okay because they have some of that to go with. But when those children make offsprings, what are they adapting? So we can't necessarily get rid of AI right now, but what we can do is make sure that we have our footprint on the children that will be using going forward. So I don't think necessarily porn was supposed to be consumed before 18. Nigga, all of us watched that shit when we were 5 and 6.
I thought my you said 5 and 6.
But let me explain why instead of 5 and 6, because you have an older brother that's watching it.
No, dog. My father said 5 and 6 away. That was not my household.
Yeah,
that was not my household.
Your TV Max, Late Night, whatever you want to call it.
But you shake your head over there.
And I think at them time they what do you call it? Them boxes, those cable boxes had its own.
Okay, Mr. That's besides the point. The point I'm making. The point I'm making is we could try to put all the control around how we're supposed to use the AI, but I think what's more important is to coach and teach those that we are worried about how they should navigate it, especially for our elevation thinking. That's what we need to do. That's the only thing that we can do. We can't necessarily fix the problem of the world, But
No.
as an individual, we could always address the issue in our own circle. That's just my approach to it.
Right then, big up to that. So my thing here, with the whole conversation, like I said earlier on, it's a conversation. It's a conversation. It's an assistive tool. I don't believe AI is here to replace humanity, but amplify humanity. You understand? With guidance from us, the programmers. We've been talking like mankind or humankind does not evolve as well. So the same way AI will evolve, I believe we will evolve, and we will be the ones controlling it. You understand? I don't think that element will ever disappear. I believe we will always be there to morally guide it. You understand what I'm saying? And we will be able to coexist, human beings, mankind, and AI. So it's not here to replace us, but to assist us, to amplify humanity. Simple.
All right. So, Ashton, is AI a silent partner helping us to thrive, or is the quiet intruder reshaping our society without
everything you go with that?
So for right now, it's a little bit of both. For right now, at this very moment, it is a productive tool in the right hands of the individuals. But let's face the facts. It beats humans in chess. It's driving us around. Maybe not in this country, but in the bigger countries. It's doing certain things that we're not able to do or are gotten too lazy to do. At what point do we say, well, it's too much? At what point do we say, well, hey, we need to stop this and, don't be a slave to this product that we created? At what point will it now not take over? Who's to say that it doesn't just say, well, hey, I need more energy, let's just starve these people, let's cut off electricity to certain people in hospitals or whatever, start killing them off, and then think for yourself. We've created something that we can't control anymore.
That's very interesting food for thought. So you say there's a quiet intruder reshaping our society without our system.
Exactly.
Okay. Ray, would you like to add to our discussion? All right. So a lot of the stuff we brought about seem to be history repeating ourselves, our fears manifested. In World War II, the Prime Minister of England starved the Indians to make sure they had grain for the British Empire. Is that much different from what AI is doing? Emotional intelligence is self-reflection. The thinker adapting to its environment until it starts an echo chamber, the thinker thinking about itself. Our mind came from the need to survive and adapt to our environment. However, in today's modern world, we prefer to sit back and let something else do our thinking for us, our own creation. Automated systems monitoring our patterns. The word author, we'd like to associate with somebody who wrote a novel, but the original or origin of author is an offspring of the word authority, or the originator of the subject matter. A lot of people have a distorted views of their own behavior and cannot see exactly what they're doing. Who are we to really see what we are teaching AI is what we want to teach it? We need, again, to become the authors of our own story. And the truth is, it's both AI creeping into our modern life and challenging us to rethink our place in society. But for now, I'll be back. Some good folks in there.
Grown Folks Only Podcast.
It's a snack. Yo, it's a girl that's representing for the majority.com. You don't know. Pick up yourself and it's that. Island strong. Island free. We are the majority. The majority. Oh yeah. Together, we an army. One people, one family. In our hearts and souls represent every day. And we come to do it the West Indian way.
Who run the vibe?
Who run the vibes?
The Just one night.